The values that the Americans stand for presently on the global stage are values of power. They are the most powerful, get to write their rules, get to determine the outcomes. And that is true for Putin. It's true for Israel. It's true for the United States. And it's not true for the Ukrainians. It's not true for the Palestinians. It's not true for the Danes or the Panamanians or the Mexicans or the Canadians. And what the Europeans have to now figure out is, are they prepared to be courageous? Are they prepared to step up, even though they're not in the most powerful position? Are they willing to do, after 3 years, after, frankly, 11 years since the Russians invaded Ukraine the first time, they've stood back. They've stood by. They haven't stood up for their fellow Europeans. They've allowed the Americans to do the heavy lifting. And now they have a president that is not willing to do that and frankly doesn't agree with them anymore, doesn't agree with their values, doesn't care about shared values, only cares about power. And so this is not a question for the Ukrainians. We know where the Ukrainians stand. They stand up. This is not a question for the Americans. We know where the Americans stand. They stand for themselves. This is a question for the Europeans. Are the Europeans willing to stand up for themselves, for their principles, for their values, and for fellow Europeans? And I fear the answer is no. I fear the answer is no. Analytically, everything we've seen for the last 3 years is that they're going to talk a really good game and they're not going to do very much. But we shall see, and we shall see very soon, because this is the future of the West. This is the future of democracy, and it sure as hell is the future of the Ukrainians.